Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Pete, aka Houseborn here, and tonight, bit of a flip. Some of you may have not played or saw a game like this before, and I just think I wanted to bring to people's attention. Basically, I have Ashes of the Singularity Escalation. Now, if you've watched some of my previous videos, you'll know I love to back a bargain, especially when it comes to games, because as I got older, I don't. Myself or my friends online, no one really ever plays a game at the same time anymore. And as AAA games come out, I've got to be honest, I don't rush out to play them. I'm a very casual gamer these days. You'll know I'm heavily into Project Cars 2. When I say heavily, I'm probably one of the most casual players going. If I really put some time and effort into that, I do believe it could be good. And we got more Project Cars 2 coming up on the channel later in the week. But anyway, back to today. It was the Humble Startup Bundle. Humblebundle.com. You can go there, you can get cheap bundles of games for very cheap prices. All the money goes to charity. And within this was Ashes of the Singularity Escalation. Now, a lot of you may have heard of the Ashes of the Singularity as a benchmarking tool. A lot of reviewers use it to test the metal and the GPU of a PC. Just so you understand, this is an RTS, a real-time strategy game, and what that means is I don't know if you've any played any of the Stardust games before. Basically, imagine like a chess game, but with loads of little ships and things going on and battles and blowing stuff up. But it's actually quite addictive. I've got to be honest, some time ago, with some friends from work, they got me into some real-time strategy stuff. And the other game I used to play, I can't remember what it's called at this moment. It will come back to me in a minute. And Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion. I played a lot of that game. That was, imagine, like a space strategy game. So you had to capture planets. You built ships, and then you went into battle with AI and other players. That is a fantastic game. It eats hours away, but it's very slow. I picked this up and I thought, I've always been intrigued about this game. I want to give it a blast, see what it's all about. And I have to say, as to compared to the Sins of the Solar Empire, this game is like it's on crack. The pace that this game moves is unbelievable. And when I first had a go on it, the AI kicked my ass. And I mean kicked my ass. I found it really difficult. But with any game like this, you can't expect to load it up and follow the tutorial, be playing like a ninja. It just, well, it doesn't work. Games like this, you've got to put a little effort and time in to get to know into what's going on. And when you do, oh, it's fantastic. I'm just going to take you through one match and just see what you think of it. There is the benchmark option there, but it's 3.5 minutes long, and I'm sure you don't want to sit here watching a benchmark on my PC. Now, I am running the game in DirectX 12. You can also run it in DirectX 11 for the older systems and in Vulkan. Because of the Fury X, I'm on slightly older AMD drivers, and when I tried the Vulkan, it just didn't want to play, so we've dropped it back to DirectX 12. Anyway, without me rambling anymore, without any further ado, let's get into a game. There is a campaign in it, but I'm just going to play the skirmish. I'm playing the AI on the beginner level because, as I say, they're quite hard and it's quite a steep learning curve. But anyway, I'm going to go straight into a game and I'll explain what it's about. Right, you start off, and this is all ground based. You're on a planet and you have to capture territories. Just to let you know, I have got all the game settings on high, but I've got no anti-aliasing. Now, this is our small little base here, and in the base, just down the bottom, we can create an engineer or a pan. You start off with one engineer, and the idea is that to start building your army and your infantry and everything up, you have to capture bases that have metal refineries and nuclear refineries. And you always start out with metal refinery, and the first thing you need to do is get your engineer, and we want him to create a metal extractor, and he's moving along now and he's working on that, and when he's finished that, that will go to a solid structure and we'll start extracting metal. Now the top left hand side up here, actually, right, small problem. I just thought I've got my camera over there. I need to reposition the camera. Right, we'll stop this here and then I'll restart it with the camera in the right place, and we'll restart the game. So I'm just going to surrender. This is what you should have seen before. So this was the base. We've already got an engineer. I'm going to just zoom out slightly. We're going to get him creating a metal station. Now what I normally do, I knock out about 5 engineers and 2 pans. Now what the pan does, it's like a little reconnaissance ship. And on the left down here we've got the map, and at the moment we can only visibly see the bit that we're in. And right, my engineer's finished that, so while we're chatting, let's go and build in another one. So obviously it takes time to build units, so my base factory there is building me another engineer. The pace of this game really does pick up. Right, we got an engineer there. So what we can do, we can group these 2 engineers together and we'll get them building the metal extractor there. Now down the bottom you've got different things that you can start building with the engineers. We can build defences, we can build technology, and we can produce factories to produce fighters, and a sky factory to produce like sky fighters. Just for the minute, is all I'm going to do is get the metal refinery going, because we need that bar to shoot up to start building the places we need to get onto. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to group these engineers, we're going to pop that on that metal refinery, and the more engineers you got working on something, I believe the faster they get the job finished. Now I knocked out 5 engineers and 3 pans, so until they've actually all built, we can't get this doing anything else. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move your engineers to a rendezvous point, you select them with the left mouse button and just right click to put them to a position. So I'm going to get them over there, and now that we've got all the metal refineries set up, what I'm going to do, we're going to start producing a factory. So if I pop that about there, we'll pop it in the corner, and the engineers are going to jump onto that. I've actually got 2 that aren't doing anything now, so what I'm going to get them doing is building a sky factory. Now the idea of this game is acquisition, and acquisition of other sites on the map as quickly as possible. But to learn the other sites on the map, we have to get one of these little scout ships out to start finding out what's in the terrain around us. And right, I've got one right, is that one there? No, that's another engineer, so we'll get him helping to build that. Actually, they're already both built. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to group my engineers over to this position here. Right, there's one of the pans. I've clicked on him, and we're going to ask him to come over to the territory over here. And as he comes over, can you see on the map that we can start seeing other areas? So if we get him to go over there now, we'll highlight different areas, and this is the radioactive refinery. And what you'll find, while these areas aren't owned by any other teams or myself, they have like some like mercenaries just around them. So what we now have to do, if we go over to our base, and we're going to start creating some fighters. So I'm going to create a brute. Brutes are cheap and high durability, strong against other frigates. So we're going to knock about 10 of them out. And the archers, these are fragile but do high damage against other enemies, so we're going to do about 10 of them. And we've also got Hermes. They're scout ships, but they're fairly fast, so if we do 2 or 3, well, we've done 4. We're going to do 2 or 3. And these things produce very, very, very quickly. And what I would say is, the minute we've got a few of these knocking about, we need to get them attacking these other areas, because the quicker that you gain other areas, the faster you can build stuff. So what I'm going to do, let's get the engineers. Actually, no, just want the engineers. Right, let's move them out the way for a minute. I'm going to put them over here. We should start building some defences as well, to be fair. But as soon as I've got this little battalion here, we're going to send them off over to this area. So I want to capture some radioactive materials bases. What we'll find, if we follow these as they come over, they will start attacking. What we're going to do as well, on the sky base, right, we can't actually build anything because we haven't got enough logistics at the moment, so we could up the logistics, and we also need radioactive material. So this battle's already commencing, and my team are over here fighting these mercenary pirate people. I call them pirates, that's what they were in the last game. So it looks like we've pretty much beat the enemy there. They're very easy to beat, to be fair. They're very little defence. Right, now we've done that, my fighters will start capturing this base. They send out these like streams, and as soon as they've captured it, we can then claim it as ours. It will light up on the map as our base. And what I'm going to do, right. So we've got more of the battalion army building up over there. I found in this you don't have to create super duper aircraft or frigates or things to fight. You can just do it with what you've got. We're going to get the engineers over here, and we're going to get those setting up the radioactive stuff. So I'm going to send this team over to this area, and we're going to go and capture that base while the engineers look at this. We've got a lone engineer up here still. What I'm going to get him doing, let's start building some defences. So we're going to knock one of these up, and we're going to pop that there. Right, so engineers are here. What we have to do is instruct them to build a radioactive extractor, and we're going to pop that onto there. And it's like micromanagement, this game. All the time this is going on, your fighters are fighting over on our behalf, and they're going to start capturing this base. So that's looking good. So we've got one reactor set up. We're going to get them to set another reactor up. Now the minute you've got some radioactive extractors and base online, you can start building what's called a quantum relay. And I'm going to pop that there. And what quantum relays do, they earn you something called quanta, and it's almost like the currency in the game. The more quanta you have, the better profitability you get. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well. And the more your economy starts growing. So what we need to do, we need to get the guys over here to move across, and we're going to get them to capture this base here. And that is actually, looks like metal refineries. Right, we're going to go and attack that. So what we need to do, get these engineers, and we need to build some defences. So there's all sorts of defences you can build. Cheap anti-air defence can upgrade to more potent turrets. So if we pop that there, it sort of gives us a little bit of protection. Now we've got the radioactive on the go, I'm going to ask to start building some fighters. So we're going to knock out at least 10 Fury and 10 of the Hades, and we're just going to leave that building. Now there is other AI on the map, and you can see this is how much of a overall military and economic strength So the higher the number, the more powerful you are. And this here is your, I think, capture superior numbers of Turinium generators to achieve victory. So you can win the game in a couple of ways, by defeating your opponents or having a better economy and more of these extractors. So what I need to do, now that we've got some aircraft over here, I'm going to send them out and we're going to go a bit further out. I'm going to get them to go and scout out, you know, the different areas, what we can actually get to. So what I also need to do is get the engineers, we're going to get them over to this area and we're going to start extracting more metal. Right, so we got more metal there and we're going to have radioactive. What I'm actually going to get them to do, recall them, and I'm going to put them about here. And I think what we'll do, I'm going to send both forces now. Actually, I'm going to group these here and we're going to attack that, and I'm going to send them in and attack them as well. There is quite a lot of people over here. Now the sky forces will attack the land craft, but I find they only do it to other teams. It's more the ground people that fight the people here. So I need the engineers over on this side in a minute. So we've got that metal extractor. I think for people who play this more regularly, they'll realise I'm a bit of a noob at this, and there's probably ways you can command them to do stuff. The way I've just played it at the moment, I'm just micromanaging, to be fair. So while that's going on, we'll get these, and we want another one up there. Right, all the time this is going on, it's always a good idea, if you've got positive numbers over here, start building more and more fighters. And we can actually get a medic. We're going to do about another 20 of these and 20 of those. And in the sky base, we'll up the numbers here. The more of an army that you can create, the better you can go attacking. Pans we don't need to create, we've already got some of them. We've got some of the scouts. So on my site here, engineers have successfully done that. So we're going to send them over here, which I think was the radio. No, that's metal. Right, we're going to scratch that. We are actually going to send them down here, so we want more radioactive, and we're going to get more of the quanta set up down here in a second. So what I'm going to do with these guys, so they're doing some repairs, then we get the radioactive done. Right, while they're doing that, I'm going to grab these and we're going to go and attack that area. Right, we've done that. So if I grab the engineers once more. Oh, no, come on. And we want to put something on there. Can you see that as we get more radioactive and more metal, we're able to start building more stuff? And I think what we're going to do, we're going to send some reinforcements in here. So both of them are built, so we're going to get the engineers off over to this area, because you can see we haven't acquired these yet. Pardon me, that was my tea coming back. She didn't want to know that, but there you go. Right. I'm going to move some of the forces into this area, just in case anyone comes to move to attack from there. and one of our pan aircraft is there, so I'm going to select him. Come here, little bugger. And we're going to send him off over there. Let's find out what's up at the top of us. Right, have the engineers got there yet? Nope. Right, what have I done with the engineers? Thought we'd actually sent them across, but oh, over there. Right, so we've actually got another metal base up there. I think what I want to do, I want to go and capture that. So we're going to send a lot of the forces here, and we're going to go and acquire that. Now we can keep making more engineers if we want to, but at the moment I'm not going to do that. We're just going to acquire all the metal and radioactive refineries that we can at the minute. So come on engineers, get your shizzle on, get some of that going. Now at the moment my army is growing quite rapidly, so what we need to do is keep panning out, keep acquiring. Let's get them to build another one there. The quicker we can take out other fractions, the better. You can see my fighters are coming in now, so we should have that area quite soon. And we've got one more of these to set up. Right, so at the moment we've only used 2 of the smaller ships. We can start building a lot more heavy machinery. What I'm going to do, we will do that in a second. Let's just start knocking some more air defences up. We'll have a sentinel turret around that. Okay, right, more logistics. You buy that with the quanta that you collect. So I've knocked the logistics up, but we could do with some more quanta. So as soon as these are finished building the turrets, the defence turrets, we'll build another quantum relay to start mining for the quanta. We won't do that yet because we haven't captured the generator. So, right, now they've done that, let's get them building another quantum relay. Right, we've acquired 2 more areas. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to group these forces together and we're going to push them further down. I don't know how you're finding this. Obviously, it's different to watching someone else to playing it. It really is. Do you ever used to play Command and Conquer or Command and Conquer Generals? It's like that, but on a more techno scale. I mean, with the AI on the low settings, they're not really fully attacking at the minute. But as you put the AI on harder levels, they really start to kick off. Right, let's get the engineers over to these areas so we can start setting these up. I think what we might do from the main base, we'll build a couple of more engineers. Actually, we've got one there. I think we do. I'm going to get him sending up there. Right, that's building away pretty good. So we're doing alright on the resources. I'm going to get these engineers to capture these points here. Well, not capture, to build the metal refineries. because the more resources we've got, the better. We'll also do another quantum relay over here. Now defences, really you should start putting defences everywhere, but as I'm building up quite a little arsenal of an army, I'm not too worried at the minute. Have we captured this area yet? Anyway, let's advance on onto that. Right, where were we? So we've got these 2 points set up now. What I'm going to do is send these guys up to here. We should have the other engineer already there. We do. So when they get there, I'm going to group them all in onto that. Right, let's group them all together and let's build the metal extractor. We'll start knocking the big guns out in a minute. I mean the really big ships. You don't necessarily need them, but if the AI is building them, we will build them as well. And I don't know if you can see here a dread launch. They're basically your big massive ships. So how are we doing here? We've got both of them sorted. So take all these, we'll get another quantum relay going. Right, so that's another base captured. So what I want to do, let's send out these 3 ships over here. Let's start having a look, spreading further out on the map. Right, another radioactive area there. So what we're going to do, we're going to group this army and we're going to go and attack that point there. And as you can see, we've highlighted another area, another metal area. But we'll leave that for a second. It's this that I'm interested in. So how are the guys up here doing? We've got that online. So our quanta production has gone up to 0.75. I think what we're going to get him to do, back near the home base, we're going to get the dread launch start building so we can start knocking some bigger ships out for defence. We've got power regulator and technology orbital factory, a weapons lab that helps you develop better weapons to upgrade, an energy projector, orbital nullifier. I've not really heavily used these yet because the AI is so simple. Right guys, if you want to stop there and we'll build the dread launch there. We'll get these guys to also help in building that. We can also build an advanced sky factory, so we'll get that going next because we build much bigger air defence ships and attack ships as well. So let's move some of the arsenal down to the midpoint here and we're going to go and attack that. Come on. Right, that's ready to go. So these are the dreadnoughts. You've got various different ones, that being the biggest and scariest thing, but it takes a long time to build. What we're going to knock out, I think, is a Prometheus. And we'll get that going. We'll do one of them, we'll do one of those and one of those. Now we'll get all these engineers, we'll start building an advanced sky factory. I've got a sneeze coming. Achoo! Bless me. Right, now I've suddenly overloaded the resources with my request from a -1 on the metal and -4 on the radioactive material. So what I need to do, let's get the engineers out, and I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do is move all our forces to this point here. So we've got 3 areas that we captured, but we haven't actually captured or started mining the resources just yet, so we need to jump onto that. How we suddenly jumped up again, I don't know. I'll build the logistics up. I don't get how that's happened. Maybe because we've acquired more of the bases. Right, engineers, go do your stuff down here. And I'm going to capture this. And now we got this built, we're going to get advanced fighters coming. So you got the two type, you got the air marauder and the strategic bomber. I like these strategic bombers because they're very, very devastating, and we'll get those going. Now in me trying to build those, I've just crippled the nuclear resources. So as soon as the engineers get themselves down here, and they are on the way, we'll highlight them and we'll get radioactive refineries building. So that was done really bloody quick with all that. So if we get them building this radioactive refinery, as soon as we got some heavy metal in the air defence, we will start attacking, and we're going to start knocking out some more brutes and fighters. I think you can, there's a setting I've heard you can do this, where you can recursively get them building. I don't know how you do that yet. That should keep the numbers coming. Right. With that done, let's get the engineers and let's build another quantum relay there. Yep, I'm aware of that. So what we need to do, send this massive force out over here. We need to capture more radioactive areas. So I've sort of starved the radioactive supplies, and I think while your radioactive supplies are down, you can't actually capture, so you can't actually build the quanta. Right, can you see the bombers bombing everything here? So we've still got battles going on, and as my ground force is moving, they'll start to capture this base. So right, we've got some heavy forces trying to protect this area. I think what we need to do is send reinforcements as quickly as possible. So I'm going to heavily get the guys down into here, and by the look of it, we've fended off that attack. So that hasn't got resources, it's just a power base by the look of it. So what I'm going to do, get the engineers, now they've done that, over to this area. Ah, we got radioactives up here. Right, what I'm going to do, get the engineers up there, I'm going to capture that. And by the look of that, we've got a base down here. So I'm going to heavily support this area. And what I'm just going to do is nip and go a drink. And here we go. Let's just resume this then. Let's get back to the game. So I've got the engineers coming across to sort the radioactives out on this part. And then I think what we're going to do, we're going to attack these bakers. In the meantime, we've got more and more forces building up over here, but we do need the more radioactives to keep things afoot. So Come on, engineers, get them racing. And it's a pretty damn good site, to be honest. Ah, we didn't capture that yet, which is why I've not got that. So the engineers are working on capturing it. Come on, we really need this. Right, while they're doing that, I'm going to let's send this army in. Why can't I highlight it? Is it because I'm still highlighting these here? Yeah, it's because I've still got that picked up. Right, we got them working on that. And now, let's go and attack. How big the forces are over in this area, I'm not quite sure yet, but we shall find out. And it looks like they've left their generator unattended. If we capture this would be kudos for us, because we can really start getting some resources off this. Ooh, it's really caning the FPS, this is, with all these ships. I did have the game set up on lower settings before, whether I maximise them like I have done. Ah, brilliant, one of our dreadnoughts is ready. Excellent, right, let's just get this done. Get the radioactive on that. Right, if I go back over here, here is one of our dreadnoughts, and we're going to get this, and let's get him over here. Come and join the guys. Right, we've got them one more of these to capture, and then we'll get the... Oh, yeah, I know we do. There you go. Right, we also need more metal, so I'm going to get the guys over here as well before we get down to... Actually, let's just sod it, let's just get down to this generator, because I'll move them down here. Let's move to this point, and I'm just going to move all this army over into this area a minute. Let's just go over this bit. Right, they've got some of their base there. We're attacking. Come on, let's go. Let's have it. In for the kill. Yeah, I shouldn't have put it on really high settings. My card's not handling that as well as it was when I played before. Ooh. Right, hang on. We got something going on here. They've taken one of our spots, so what we're going to do, we're going to re-divert him up there, and we're going to get this little arsenal over there. We'll soon put a stop to that. There we go, some of our fighters going into kick-ass. I mean, that's knocked our metal about as well. Right. Let's get... We've got that. Brilliant. Engineers. We'll get this. What was we after? Technology. Weapons lab. Orbital fabricator. Power regulator. Let's get that there. There we go, that'll boost us up somewhat. And how are we doing up there? Yeah, we've recaptured this area. So what I'm going to do, let's get some more engineers building. because we can get them up there then, sorting this bit out. We can recapture them bits there. While we've got this, let's just send that lot, sort that out. We need to get some more quanta as well. Still playable at this frame rate, but I mean honestly before I had a mixture of high and medium settings I think, and it didn't drop below 100 frames per second. So we're rocking that up. What else can we build over here with this? We've done that, so let's get the engineers. Power regulator, also nullifier, energy projector. Let's get that in. We got some engineers, yep. Let's send these engineers down to here. I'm not going to pick that up. Oi, we got someone attacking our stuff. Don't think so. Let's get down there to protect it.
Enemy has captured a region.
They did, but not for long. We're about to take you out. Yeah, we've recaptured our region. I think what we need to do, send our forces out. I find with this, as more and more starts happening, you start forgetting what you were doing. We've got them engineers on the move somewhere. I think what we'll do, we'll put these to good use. While they're here, let's build another quantum fabricator. We need to start getting more defences up. Oh, fantastic. We've got our second dreadnought. Right, let's get him over here. We're being attacked. Let's get them over here. Actually, let's get this barrage of craft over.
The enemy has captured a region.
Not for long. There we go. I've got our big guns going in to attack. Right, we've got to start nullifying the other forces now. I think we just need to really... Let's go that way. So I've got quite some forces here. I mean, these are empty. Okay. Let's just try over here. Right, the points I didn't capture. Right, there's we got these engineers. So let's get them getting the metal extractor going. Right, we've got big forces here. I'm going to mass all these together and we're going to attack here. Let's get their main base. I mean, we might take some heavy casualties, but we're going to end up wiping one of these out by the look of it. Lots of bombings and things going on at the minute. Oh, that's a stressy. To reset the frame rates or anything in this, you do have to come out of the game, so I'm just going to keep zoomed out. It's a shame really, I shouldn't have gone so high on the settings. Right, now where did I have my little engineers? To the... Let's get you down here. And let's get you guys over to here. Alright, we'll get them in moving on that now. So we need to capture that. And you gotta load over it. There we go. And then there's one the other side. Right, grab that bit. Right, 2 engineers here. Metal on that. I think this job done. Let's get the metal on this. Right, we've pretty much took over that area. Let's go and capture that. And while we're at it, let's get this producing more. And we'll get the advanced sky, for they're still building, so we'll get the sky factory going. Right, big battles going on over here at the moment. Right, there's 2 engineers here. Get that metal going. We should capture that area, so I'm going to get these guys over to here. And then we'll pick up that radioactive field, and that actually will divert them, because we've got 9 of them there. Get over there for the radioactives. Right, we are in this area now, so let's move this onto them. We're really heavily attacking now. I'm so sorry I got the graphics really too high, because to zoom in on the action is quite actually cool to watch. And what I'm going to do, rather than capture that at the minute, let's just fly in on this and let's do these big time. And what we're going to do, shift over here, zoom in, all these reinforcements we're going to throw into this area. Now it does look like we're thinning out a little. What I might do, pull the forces back I'm just getting back to here.
Captured a generator.
Because we have took quite some casualties there, but we've really wiped out a lot of their stuff. I mean, we've took out all that defence there. What I'm going to do, let's just grab these. The engineers. There we go. Let's get him over there. Now we've got our production back up. I'm going to really push on these weights. We're going to try and take them out. They've also, let's just take that back. Let's get all this back over to here as well. While we're at it, if we've got nothing building on that, let's get one of the big guns coming. Because we left this unattended, they've took that back. Right. I think what we might do, group the resources and we'll go and get that generator back. Let's go and give that a good bashing.
Insufficient radioactives.
Okay.
The enemy has captured a region.
Decoy these over and go and capture that back. Let's go. Need to get those. What we'll do, we'll take those engineers and we'll get him up to here. Get that recaptured. Should have put some defences down there actually. I should have really thought about that. At the moment I'm playing because I'm a big force. I should be getting the defences in. Right, for our engineers, they're still on the way.
We have captured a generator.
Right, engineers. Where's our 5 engineers? Before I do that, let's group this slot just to this one side. We need one more of them just there. We'll do that when we get these to move down here. Right, that job's done. Let's get these guys back down here. I think what we might do, get this force moving on here. we're up here. Let's go. This horse moving from that. Right, what we need to get done then? Scratch that. Quantum relay. Working on it, working on it. Right, let's attack the wall. Right, we're back on. We're back on there. So we pulled that back up. You guys have done that. Let's get you moving down to. Oh, no, you don't.
The enemy has captured a region. You have secured its remaining levels.
We need more logistics.
The enemy has captured a region.
We need more logistics. We need more logistics.
okay? So really concentrating getting into the action there. I'll speed all that bit up because that bit of the game took such a long time. But basically what's happened, I've won, I've hit critical mass, 1500, 1500. Now at this point you can quit the game and leave it and finish at that, or you can keep playing. What I'm going to do tonight, I'm just going to leave it at that. Actually no, I'm not. What I'm going to do, I want to keep playing and I'll fast forward through the rest of the footage. Things like this, they take up so much time because there's so much micromanagement, but honestly, when you get into it, so much going on, I enjoy it, and it's a break from the norm. You know, first person shooters, racing games, other sorts of games, you know, this is just like, it is strategy. You've got to plan out, you've got to manoeuvre your forces, you've got to mine the trinium. Good game. Whether it's your bag or not, I don't know. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I say I will keep playing. I'm going to wipe everything out and then I'll just finish the video off. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this, and hopefully if you've never ever come across a real-time strategy game before, you might contemplate it. They're one of those games that the deeper you get into it, the more enjoyment you're going to get from it. They're not something you can dive into, and well, you can dive into it, but to really reap the benefits, you've got to get deep into it, and that takes time. You're going to need to read up on some forums, some strategies. I mean, this is the AI on the most basic level. When you've got people attacking you and coming in all the time, it's difficult. I mean, I tried bumping the AI up and I got wiped out like that. I'm rambling, so I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.